Welcome to the Power of One. Today we are going to have a fun show and we're going to speak about talents. If you have talents that can bless others, but you're a little afraid or apprehensive, put that by the wayside and just do you. I had the pleasure of hearing Dee sing at an event for Teen Shop on Saturday, and her voice was just so mellow and beautiful. She's dynamic.
Life's like spring water, you drink from it every night. Life's like the water you fetch every night. Big difference, so right, you had to take a bite. Last week you serving, no, you don't ever do you right.
Welcome to the show, Dee.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
So, Dee, tell us a little bit about you, your background. Did you grow up singing in the church choir, coming down and had your robe on and all of that good stuff?
So yeah, actually just that. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. So I grew up Southern Baptist in terms of religion. And so naturally I was in the church
That's
every
it.
weekend and during the week. And
That's it.
so during the summer, free time, any free time, I
Mhm.
spent up in the church. And so naturally, because my sister and I both sing, and so naturally we had this raw gift. And I think that the church helped to kind of cultivate it to be,
Yeah.
as strong as it is today. But yeah, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm 22 years old. I graduated from the University of Pennsylvania in 2023 with a major of political science. So I am attempting to go to law school in the future this year. So
Okay.
cool. And so yeah, singing is my life, it's my passion, music more generally, but I'm a vocalist, so that's kind of where I express myself through music and singing and things of that nature, hoping to one day take it more professionally. But yeah, that's a bit about me.
So tell me something, Dee. Did you always feel comfortable singing in front of a large group? So I'm a PK, a preacher's
Mhm.
kid, and of course, you know, your mom and your dad, they push you and like, oh baby, sing it, oh baby. And so I sang on a choir and I would do solos all the time. You know, dad's like, oh, sing this and sing that. And I think I focus on being perfect. So when
Mm,
I don't hit that note, I'm so hard on myself. I'm like, that's it. I'm not singing again. Now, mind you, no Whitney Houston or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I'm
right.
just so critical of myself. So did you always feel comfortable singing in front of others?
I would say yes and no. And I mean that in the sense the whole notion of like stage fright is something I've never really experienced, or
Okay.
not even that I hadn't experienced it, but I kind of use it in a way. So I think growing up in the church and singing in the choir really helped, but I also was involved in so many like singing groups through
Okay.
school, through like my mother wanted me and my sister to be in different singing groups just to kind of help
Okay.
us get used to it. And so when I get in front of audience, I do feel that nervousness, that queasiness,
Mm-hmm.
but makes me go harder. Like I don't know, like
Really?
I don't know if it's an ego boost, but sometimes when I feel that, I naturally like, I'm like, okay, this is my time. This is time for me to like, really convey what I want through my voice. And especially when I have an audience that is, receptive and they're
Uh-huh.
reciprocal,
Uh-huh.
giving me the same energy that I'm giving them, it allows me to feed off of them very well. And so I think I like that. Now, the other side of it, very critical of myself, extremely to the point to where this is a reason why I haven't wanted to pursue music professionally. I want to hit every note right. I
Uh-huh.
want to do all the runs. I want to cascade down the runs. I want to, I want to have that soul. I want to be great. And I want to be perfect. And I'm a
Right.
Virgo. So, they say they're a
When's
little
your birthday?
August 23rd. I'm the first day. So I always have, even with like my environment, everything has to be perfect. And so I record myself singing so often, so many videos of the same song, same
Mm-hmm.
parts,
Mm-hmm. I
over
get
and
it.
over and over. And everyone's like, why aren't you posting this? Like, why aren't you posting this content? And I'm like, because I can do better. And I
Mm-hmm.
had someone
Mm-hmm.
tell me, a really good friend who's also like a very great musician, and they're like, if you keep looking for perfect, you're just never going to post. You're never going to post because
Yeah.
perfect does
Yeah.
not exist. And what people want to see is your growth. They want to see you
Mm.
here to here. They don't want to see you just be perfect from here to here because then it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing to hang on to. They want to see you go from maybe not getting every note to being Beyonce
Right.
level getting notes. And that's
Right.
what's appealing. And so that's definitely my battle back and forth with fear of singing.
And like for me, like singing and with that fear, it cracks your voice. Do you
Yeah.
experience that?
I do. I do. I do. I think I hyper focus on getting everything so perfectly that you lose the flow of the music. Music is not naturally supposed to be forced. It's supposed to have a flow to it. You're supposed to vibe with it. And so while I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting there thinking about everything I need to do, the lyrics, the cadence, the
Mm-hmm.
rhythm, I'm losing out on what the
Mm.
whole this is. And so
Yeah.
naturally that's when things start going wrong because I'm focused on the wrong things.
Right. Right.
I definitely experienced that. Yeah.
Now, and like when I first started out, like I was straight tone deaf. Like the piano would be like, whoa. I'd be like, huh? You know what I mean? I'd be like all over the place. Look, I'm gonna sing in whatever key I want
Yeah.
to sing in. Like you know what I mean? Again, we in church. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
not recording a CD or anything like that. But anyway, so when did you decide you wanted to get out there and pursue singing?
Okay. I think it's something I've always wanted to do naturally. I've had different people, maybe like my father and things in my life, just or different people to just tell me that, you got to have that practicality. You have to be practical. And so I think that also pushed me in a different direction. It pushed me towards academia. It pushed me towards law because I have to have something because this is a one in a million, type,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how far you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And with where I want to go, I know that it's one in a million. And so I had to have that. And so while I was in undergrad and in school, you kind of don't have time to find gigs or, devote yourself to whatever you want to do passion wise. And so I think that once I graduated undergrad, I'm like, this is something that I feasibly have time to put effort, money, etc. into. Now that I'm not in
Mm-hmm.
school, I can find different gigs where I want to sing and I can find you know, times to practice, times to work on other crafts like playing guitar, which I've neglected, for years and years. And so I think once I graduated, I now had the ability. I saw it in front of my eyes. And so it became more real then.
You know the world's moving too fast. When we collide, when we collide, it's a beautiful disaster.
So how do you get your name out there now? Are you posting more? And are you just singing and posting it? Are you all over social media? Because let's be real, that's the times that we're living in.
Right. And so I always feel so bad about it because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't do it all the time. And so I have these points where I make strides and then it's like we're sitting back for a little bit. So a big thing I promised myself by the end of 2023 was that I wanted to create a page just for my music because I have so many platforms that I use and I didn't have like a space where especially because my personal page is one that I've had since I was a child, for example, Instagram. And so I'm not always comfortable sharing certain vulnerable things on a page that's so large right now. And so I wanted to by the end of 2023 create a page that was solely for me to post music and things like that. So I accomplished that. I made the account. Did I post on it consistently? I didn't. And so it's like I take one step forward, but then I stay there for a little bit. But like you were saying, social media now is the age of the game. Like it's the now. Everyone's using that TikTok, etc., to promote things, and that's what I need to be doing. And so that's what I work on. But as I was telling you earlier, I record so much. I have so much footage. I have so many videos, so much content. It just never makes it to the post stage because I'm always thinking of, well, I could have hit that note better there. So let me read. And by the time
Mm-hmm.
I've done it, it's 50 times.
Right, right. Now, the one you said that you had since you were a child, you don't
Mhm.
want to post on there. Is it because you're thinking what other people will think that grew up with you that really don't know what your talent is?
I think it's somewhat like that. What I always tell my friends is that and this is something I experience, not just in terms of singing, but just within my person. I struggle a lot with self-esteem. And so
Mm,
that transfers completely to anything I do, whether it be, schoolwork, regular work, or singing.
mm-hmm.
So I have these moments where I can't see what other people see in me. And so
Mm, mm-hmm.
when I get up and I sing and people are
Mm-hmm.
thinking I did so well. Well, in those moments, I'm going through my head like, wow, that was really bad. Like
Right, right.
I could have done better. And it's so it would seem so easy because a lot of my friends just say, just do it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's really a mental block that
Right, right.
doesn't allow you to. And I would say that it's, in tandem with the physical block, as if you couldn't
Mm-hmm.
physically do it because I can't. Because, and so I think that with my oldest page, like my Instagram, that's been so long, it's just the fear that I'm not good enough. It's the fear that
Mm-hmm.
people will hear
Mm-hmm.
this and they'll hear it and not like it, or they'll hear it and they'll compare me to some great artist that I personally like. And it's like,
Right.
it's scary, I think.
It is. I agree 100%. And what I will say to you is this is that we all like different artists. Like
That's
Whitney
true.
Houston, oh my goodness. That woman could sing. You hear me?
I
Like
know.
just the beauty of her voice and those notes that she listen. But then you got a Shirley Caesar, and I know you know about Shirley.
Yeah, I
Two
do.
totally different styles. But when I tell you two bad women, but two
Right.
totally different styles. And I think we as people have to understand and own our uniqueness. If
Hmm.
that's a word, if it's not, it's going to be a word today. So, you
Today.
know what I mean? We have to understand and embrace the gifts that we have. So, I know there's so many people who are sitting on amazing talent within themselves. And my middle brother is one of them. So my middle brother, he grew up playing the drums. So my dad was in a band, even though he was a deacon and he's the pastor now. But we're this musically inclined family. And when I tell
Right.
you, I listen to all music, depending on what my mood is. Sometimes it's gospel, sometimes it's R&B,
Right.
sometimes it's rap. It's all depending on my mood. But it's just that I love a variety. But my middle brother Eric learned how to play drums just by sight.
Mm.
And when I tell you he bad, he's bad.
I
Okay.
believe
We're actually going to add a clip of him on your show. I hope you
that
don't
would be
mind. I'll
great.
put
Yeah.
it at the end. But when I tell you my brother is bad, and I'm not just saying this because that's my brother, you know what I mean? But he never learned how to read music.
Hmm.
So that's what hindered him from going out and into Hollywood or wherever. He used to practice with like pieces of a dream.
Mm.
So he did amazing things, but those fears can hinder us from blessing others with our gifts. Let me ask you a question. What song do you sing around the house a cappella all the time?
Naturally, it will be a gospel song, probably "The Battle Is Not Yours" by Yolanda Adams. Like that's just a natural
That's
go-to.
another one. That's another one. That's just awesome. So how about I just put you on a spot and you just sing it just a couple verses for me.
I actually wouldn't mind. Um, okay, I'll just start whenever.
I'm ready.
There's no pain that Jesus can feel. There is no hurt that he cannot heal. For all things work according to his perfect will. No matter what you're going through, remember God is using you for this battle is not yours. Oh, it's the Lord's.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. That's just awesome. You know what I mean? And then to be able to sing like that, yeah, that's amazing. Did you take voice lessons, or this is just a gift? And like you said, that the person said you have to show that growth. So
Right.
even though you're good, you still have to have a voice teacher to teach you those things, to teach you to
Right.
breathe. And so, do you have a voice teacher?
Not currently. So I took vocal lessons when I like all through my childhood, but I never taken vocal lessons past puberty, which is when I got my adult voice. And
Mm-hmm.
so no, I've not had any professional training since, yeah, prior to hitting puberty for the most part.
Wow. But now, are you going to think about getting one?
I want it so bad. I want it a lot. I tell my mother all the time because she wants us to post and she posts us so much. Her page
Mm-hmm.
is us. And so I always tell her I want to keep growing. I feel so
Mm-hmm.
sad. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I can't. It just comes to a point where you can only teach yourself so much. And so I feel like I've done
Exactly.
the work. I've done the work to build my tone. I've done the work to, learn certain things. But now I
Mm-hmm.
need a professional opinion to kind of take me a step further, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
it's something that I'm just now starting to work in things, and so that's definitely going to be budgeted in very soon. Very soon.
That's awesome. I remember seeing a show when Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey were talking, because I think they did a duet together for some song, and they
Mhm.
were talking, and Whitney was talking about that time of month for women. And
Mm.
she said something like, your tone, a female's tone is different
Mm.
during that time. That's what I never knew that. So they said that they would vibe on each other if they felt like, you know what I mean, that person wasn't on at that time for whatever reason that
Mm.
was. And again, that's that growth. You know what I mean? You learning under someone who has studied for years,
Right.
and that takes someone under their wing and can keep them growing. So if someone wanted to get in contact with you to sing at their wedding, to sing at their cabaret, do we still have cabarets? I don't know. I'm telling my age. Like, how would they get in touch with you?
So usually, well, from now, because I'm fueling basically off word of mouth, most people just take down my number. But I also email or even social media. All of those avenues. Somehow maybe we can like probably promote those during the show, or should I
Well, yeah, I
say?
want you to tell the viewers how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so my cell number is 678-791-8333. And then my social media account, my Instagram is you as in the letter love LOVE DeMaria DEMARIA. So you love DeMaria. So those are anyway, please reach out.
Thank you so much for joining me. And I cannot wait until you make it big. Come back and get me so I can be in the front row, because I will be your biggest fan. So continue to grow and continue to do you, and continue to have that unique sound, which is you and separates you from everybody else. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, for sure.
There's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside. hopelessly devoted to you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you are you and you are unique. If you have a talent, don't be afraid to show the world. Guess what? You don't need approval from nobody. You do you, you have fun, and you show off your God given talents. Peace and love.